Hi Mark, it's Dan here from the Purple Golf Academy. Welcome along. I'll be doing your analysis today and taking a look at your swing. So I've got you here from face on, and I've been having a look at your swing, and the first thing that I've seen here is it's a little bit takes a little while for you to get settled over the ball here, Mark, and there's a bit of sort of fidgeting around, toing and froing before you get started. And what I'd say to you is when you're taking your setup position, just relax into your posture, get settled, have some confidence in the shot you're about to play, and just be a bit more relaxed and a bit more confident in that setup to the ball, because that'll feed into the swing itself. So get confident in your posture and just take it in a relaxed, confident manner, and that'll help your swing. Now, when you do settle up to your setup here, you end up in a position which is a little bit kind of left-sided here. So what I mean by that is your ball position is quite well forward. It's opposite your left toe, and that in itself gets your shoulders quite forward, a little bit open, and your hands forward as well. And all of that means you're quite on your sort of left side, your left foot there, as you prepare to start the swing. So for me, I'd like to see your ball back kind of where the club head is at this point, and your hands kind of almost level with that, or even behind with the driver. It's just going to help you get behind the ball and get the thing up into the air. So that'll be the first thing that I'd notice. And the second thing is around your grip here, Mark. Your right hand is turned very much to your right as you look down at the club, and your left hand turns to the left. Principally, that left hand position is the one I'd like to look at, because with that left hand turned to the left, it means you're gripping the club in the palm, and that makes it very difficult to set the wrists properly during the swing. And setting the wrists is quite an important component of generating power during the swing. So what I'd like you to try is turning your left hand a bit more to the right as you grip the club, and feeling that it's in a bit more of a that you're holding the club a bit more in your fingers, and that your wrist can set back and through a little bit more easily. When you get the hang of that, it should feel a bit more natural actually, and a bit more powerful. Because one of the things I want you to work on is setting the club in the backswing off the ball, rather than kind of taking it away with a sort of wooden wrist action. We actually want to get some play in those wrists back and through, which is going to help you generate some power and also sequence your swing a bit better. So yeah, let's just get that ball a little bit further back and make sure your shoulders are nice and square there, and that we're behind the ball at address. Now let's have a look at your actual swing here. Now you can see this first move, there's quite a lot of movement there to the right. I'm just going to mark the position of your head as we start the swing here. And what you're going to notice is if I just roll this to halfway back here, or even the top of the swing, you can see just how much that head is moving there in that backswing. And certainly you've gone up quite a lot to the top of the swing there. So your head now is way higher than it was at the start of the swing. And gaining height in the swing is almost the opposite of what you want to try and achieve, because what that means is you're getting lighter on your feet. It means you're not going to be able to fire the legs or use the ground as well during the downswing, so you won't be as powerful in your swing with that kind of action. If you take a look at most of the top players now, you'll find that during the backswing their head will probably go down very slightly, and in the downswing it will go down quite a bit, because they're really using the ground, they're firing their bodies into the ground and into the ball to generate the power. Whereas the position you achieve at the top of the swing here, Mark, you can see you're really only on your left toe of the left foot there, which means you're quite high off the ground, and that is not a hugely powerful position at this stage. So what I'd like you to try and feel off the ball is, rather than this kind of sideways movement that you've got at the moment, and this very, very wooden wrist action, as I say, because at this point here you haven't actually set the wrist at all. So really you're just moving your upper body to the right and just pulling the club back with the arms. We're not actually winding up and gaining any power. So what I'd like you to try and feel as you start your swing is that the wrist and the club, the butt of the club, the grip end, is not going to move as you start your swing, but the club head is going to start to move. So what you'll find then is you'll get an angle developing between, it doesn't display it very well, but you'll get an angle developing between your sort of left arm and the club shaft here, which will help you set the wrists properly in the swing. So by this point here, you want to see the club shaft somewhere like this, so you're really setting your wrist, and that grip change that I mentioned will really help you achieve that. So the feeling off the ball is to set the wrists and to turn rather than to move that upper body to the right. So as you start your swing, you just want to allow the centre of your belt buckle there and your chest or your shoulders just to turn to the right rather than this kind of movement to the right. And you'll find then that at the top of your swing your head will be much more in that box, in the same place as it was at the start of the swing, rather than this position where you're getting higher on your feet. It's just a question of turning to the top and turning back into the ball, and that you'll find will be a more powerful route into impact, because what we happen in a downswing now is sort of you tend to throw the club into the ball, which I suspect won't be the most powerful of downswings, and you come into a nice looking finishing position, but the damage possibly has already been done by that stage. Let's have a look from down the line here, Mark, and let's take a look at this one at full speed here and see what we can see. So I actually like the look of the setup from down the line. It's quite nice. You're quite grounded at address, which is a good thing, and that's what we want to try and achieve throughout the swing here. But again, in this swing, I think we'll see that you have that sort of appearance of being quite high and quite light on your feet, and then it's a bit choppy across the ball here. So let's just break this down a little bit more. So we're looking to try and improve that grip on the club and get these shoulders, rather than aiming to the left of the target here, you want them to aim more to the right of the target along your feet line there, and that will help you turn the body in the backswing. Let's just bring you up to the start of your swing here. Okay. And as I've already mentioned about your head movement here in the backswing, you can see you're standing up off the ball there. Your first move is to stand up in this backswing. You can see that head is getting higher there all the time. And what I'd like to do now is just give you a little comparison to Ernie Els here, and just show you what he does in his swing, and just compare it to you here. So if I just mark the top of his head here at the setup position, and just take him through to the top of his swing. So what you'll find in his swing is his head actually goes down 1 or 2 inches during the backswing, and you can see as well the flex here in his legs at the top of the backswing. That just shows that he's really using the ground, and he's heavy on his feet, and that's going to really allow him to push off the ground in the downswing. He pushes off the right foot there as he starts down and fires that club into the ball. So that's something I'd like you to try and work on in the backswing, Mark, is just that feeling that you're going to turn off the ball here, similar to the way Ernie does, and be nicely loaded into the ground at the top. If we just compare that to yourself here. Just take you through to the start of your swing. Yeah, it's just that initial kind of standing up and backing away. And I think a lot of that is connected to this grip situation, because you're not setting the club off the ball there. You just lift the club away with the hands, and because of that you kind of stand up. So what we're really looking for in this backswing is the feeling that, as I say, you're gonna set that club off the ball as you start back. You're gonna keep your head nicely down and centered as you turn off the ball, and you're gonna turn that body to the top of the backswing. That's the feeling we want you to have. So you want to feel that head a lot lower at the top, and that club has just is setting around the body. So the club head's kind of going first. You almost leave the hands at the address position and let that club set around the body as you turn to the top. So have a play with that, Mark. Going to be a little bit of a different feeling for you, but see how that feels. You probably want to try and feel at the top of your swing that your left heel is going to stay on the ground, because you're going to be that much more heavier on your feet, that much more ground at the top of your swing. So keeping that left heel down is definitely something I'd like you to think about. as you swing, so it's a turn and you keep that weight in the feet quite heavy as you turn back. So give that a try next time you're at the range. Let me know how it goes. It's probably going to feel a bit different, so it may be you might need me to clarify a couple of the points, or we need to go over one or two of these points again, so please feel free to get in touch with me and let me know your thoughts and how it's going. It might be useful if I just summarise again the points that we've covered today, because I think we've covered probably quite a bit of ground. But the key things are that left hand grip on the club. If you can turn that left hand a little bit more to the right on the club at address, that's going to make it easy to set that club. Make sure your shoulders are not aiming left of the target at address. That's going to help you to promote that nice strong turn. And then in the swing itself, you just want to feel that you're heavy on your feet at address, and that you keep that throughout the swing. So you're going to keep your head down as you turn, and you're going to let that club set off the ball. And by that I mean the club head goes first, the hands stay where they are, and that club head works around the body during the backswing. To a point where at the top of your backswing you feel nice and low to the ground, you're heavy on your feet, and your head's kind of stayed down, it's not stood up. So those are sort of three key things that I'd like you to kind of try and think about when you're practicing at the range. Good luck with that. Any questions or any things you want clarification on, just please let me know. And I look forward to hearing how it goes, Mark, and watching your progress.